Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, it's a rather warm evening this evening, and I've decided to come out to celebrate my first anniversary of wildlife photography. It's pretty much a year to the day that I purchased the Sigma 150-600, and I thought I would come out for a wee bimble while I'm making the most of the warm weather. And yeah, we'll come back and chat about my experiences over the past year soon, but let's go see if we can find any birds. So it's a quiet afternoon so far, kind of expected. Temperatures are up to about 26, 27 degrees today, so not expecting much bird activity, but it's why I wanted to come down to a place with water, because I thought there may potentially be some birds in those trees and stuff. I've just had a little wander down behind me, and I've just been taking a couple of pictures of some swans and dragonfly as well, but that's it. I have seen a couple of small birds flitting around in the trees, so fingers crossed as that sun gets a bit lower, might see a bit more activity. It is quite quiet though in the noise front. I have heard a little bit of chatter, but not too much. So anyway, yeah, 1 year in wildlife. So I'll be honest with you, it's had its ups and downs. In the respect of that, obviously there have been times I've gone out, this might be one of them, where I've not managed to actually capture much at all, but that's kind of to be expected. But I have had some real highlights, and I'll come back and talk about those in a bit. I'm going to keep wandering down here. As I say, I've just turned around and come back. You probably saw the bridge behind me previously, maybe. It's just there, so I'm going back down the other way now. That cloud's just covering the sun as well, which is a bit of a respite from the heat. So, yeah, fingers crossed I'll actually find some birds on my 1 year anniversary, other than a swan. So I thought I'd sit and chill a little bit. Just been taking a picture of some mallards, mummy looking after some very young mallards. They look like mallards, but there's like 5 or 6 of them, and they're just kind of all stuck together. So yeah, that was quite nice. Mummy and babies. Yeah, they're back now. Just come down here. Hey little ones. Okay, so we'll just come back and talk about some of my highlights of the last year. So first of those has to be photographing the red squirrels. I mean, I absolutely love squirrels anyway. And I'm not entirely certain that I'm overly happy with all the shots that I took that day. But the experience was absolutely fantastic, and if I hadn't taken up wildlife photography, I never would have been in that situation. Not really, anyway. To sit there and have these squirrels sort of climbing all over me and stuff, that was the experience in itself, let alone the photography. But yeah, I will hopefully be making a return there later in the year. Another one of my favourite experiences was obviously Giggering Farm as well. What an absolutely fantastic place that is to photograph your red kites. And I know I've said before that we're quite lucky to have an abundance of red kites in this area, and I was hoping to actually see some down here tonight, to be honest with you. I'm on the Neen Walk just outside of Oundle, and yeah, I seem to be failing miserably. I thought there'd be a few out here. We often see them if we're driving down the 605 past Oundle, and it's just a crow in the field. Yeah, I haven't seen any tonight, but Giggering Farm with the abundance of red kites, what an amazing place, and comes highly recommended from me. Not great for filming video, but great for the photography purposes. It's almost overwhelming to have that many red kites there to photograph. You don't know where to look, what to shoot. So that's another place that's definitely high on my list to return, just for the photography aspect of it, let alone the experience. And yeah, somewhere I really want to return to. Getting my first puffin shot, that was another highlight of the year as well. That was obviously for one of my recent trips up in June to Bempton Cliffs, or back in June up to Bempton Cliffs. I've been to Bempton Cliffs 3 times already in the last year, and it's not even necessarily to photograph the puffins, but that is for me an absolutely magical place. With the volume of seabirds and stuff they have there is wonderful. So yeah, 3 trips to Bempton, Giggering Farm, red squirrels in Snays Home, Yorkshire Dales. That's just some of the highlights. I've been to some fantastic places: Titchwell Marsh, Langford Lowfields, which is my last video. Man, it has genuinely been a fantastic year for photography for me, and it's also allowed me to actually get out more with the camera, because of the area that I live in is not great for landscape photography. And I know you could go, oh, it is what you make it and stuff, but it's genuinely not. I much prefer my hills and the big open expanses of vistas and all that sort of stuff. It's just, that's what I crave. But doing wildlife photography has enabled me to actually get out with the camera on a regular basis. I say a regular basis, obviously those of you who know me and have maybe followed the channel for quite a while know that July is a very manic time for me photography wise, and I don't get out much. This is only the second time I've been out since the end of June, and obviously one of those was because I was up working in Lincoln and took a trip to the Langford Lowfields. And yeah, this is the first time in August. It's now the 13th of August, and yeah, this is kind of hopefully the run of quite a few more trips out. I've planned on being out on Saturday as well this week for a good long session, weather permitting, and trying to find somewhere that's not going to be overpopulated with people, purely on the basis that it is the school holidays and the weather's nice. So yeah, right, I'm kind of rambling to you guys now, so I'm actually going to get back to the photography. I'll stick up the pictures of the mallards in one moment, and yeah, not sure I'm going to see many more birds, to be honest with you. I didn't expect to with it being so warm, but we shall see. So still sat in the same spot. I was hoping that you guys won't be able to see, but there is a branch over the other side of the river that, when the light was a bit stronger, I was waiting to see if any small birds would actually come and land on that branch. So far, nothing. I can hear a couple of birds in the trees, but I've not seen anything for ages. And so I was hoping they'd come down and have a drink or something like that, but nope, nothing. So I did manage to capture. So obviously I'm sat on this bank, my leg's going down the bank, and just to the left hand side of me you can see all this short browny grass. There's some crows just going along, picking up bits out of there. So it was quite nice because I'm almost eye level with the crows sitting here, and hopefully got a couple of nice shots out of that. In fairness, they're wandering a bit closer, so I might take some more pictures of them. But I'll pop those pictures up in a minute, and then I'm probably going to head off and sign out. So catch up with you guys in a bit. Well, that's me done for the evening. Not much else going on really, wildlife wise. That pair of swans have followed me down the river. Have fun, guys. Just busy digging around in the water. So annoyingly, that light is absolutely lovely this evening, diffused by some of those clouds, but yeah, it's also in the direction I want it to be in as well, pointing towards those trees. But never mind, you win some, you lose some. And typically, in my case, out celebrating my first anniversary of wildlife photography, and I literally get young mallards and swans. But beautiful creatures as they are, I was hoping for some small birds in those trees, so never mind. Okay, so yeah, 1 year. It's hard to believe it, considering it was never my intention to take up wildlife photography, and I only really do it as a filler. But yeah, it's not a filler, it's a main focus of my channel nowadays. As I say, I'm not giving up on landscape photography yet, nothing like that in the slightest. It just so happens that, as I say, because of my ease of getting out now and having some fantastic places around me for wildlife photography as opposed to landscape photography, it just means I'm out with the camera more, getting more videos for you guys, and just making the most of everything. So yeah, fantastic. But I'm gonna head back to the car. I'm also getting hungry as well. Want me dinner. But yeah, so I'll sign out. Let me just grab hold of the camera. Obviously, if you like the video, give us the old thumbs up and drop some subscribes from down the bottom wherever they are. And yeah, oh, hit that notification bell. And this is Mike out. Take care and be safe, everyone. Peace.